Dude, it would be so sick to do a Theo Von collab. What is up? How we doing? Welcome to stream. Just getting a little bit more set up, just about finished here, so just hold out for me just a little bit longer. But good to see you all. I love birds, defective, shelf, goofy fella. How y'all doing? Hope the week's been treating you well. What's up, little kitty? Hell yeah. Who would win 100 men or one gorilla? It's 100 men. It's 100 men faux show. Indomitable human spirit buff goes insane. Ebullience, how you living, brother? Dude, Ebullience, did you get all that settled with all the shit you were dealing with YouTube and that man that like hacked all your stuff? I'm guessing by the sounds of way better now, so that's really good to hear. What's up, Rave? What's up, Kate? Yo, yo. Let's go. Thank you for the dono. Let's get this show on the road. Okay. How do I actually, I'm gonna... There we go. It's a whole 0.6 whole US dollars. Yes, thank you for the 10,000 IDR. Let's go. All right, let me move this over. Let's see what we're gonna have first. What's good? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let me put a pause on this. Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What You Missed This Week. Something that's going to have a much better name down the road here. But essentially, what we're going to be doing is going over some of the content that I had covered over some of the drama that I'd covered over the last week here, give you guys a bit more info. And then I'm also going to include stories that I didn't cover on this channel, but I noticed as I went by and just didn't have time to make a video for them. Like an astrologist who got, an astrologer who got arrested in Myanmar for faking a prediction of an earthquake that was going to happen there, which caused a bunch of civil unrest and a bunch of people were staying outside of their homes. But interesting stuff like that. But I figured it'd be fun to do a little bit of like an actual segmented thing, go over what I covered most recently on the channel and give you guys a bit more drama because I know you guys like that. And it's kind of fun to talk about all this stuff and kind of unpack it and see what you guys actually think kind of while we're doing it as opposed to just reading comments back afterwards. But yeah, like a little holiday. So yeah, I'm wearing my fresh, this is my party fit, my party suit, as I like to call it. It is for when I party. It is a full, we got the shorts as well. Got my cosmic undies on below it. No, we're hitting it today. I need to work out more. Honestly, if I can cause chaos by faking a bunch of predictions, I would too. Exactly. And they were making some good views on TikTok. A lot of Myanmar got that. Quinn, just for that fancy ass fit. want to make sure. What's up, Ogies? Okay. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Well, actually, I've got a few choices for you guys here. So let me know what you guys want to see first, okay? So we can go in chronological order. We can start with what happened at the start of this week, which is Logan Paul just nuked his own lawsuit. Technically, that was last Friday, but 7 days, so I'm counting it in the week. So we can talk about Logan Paul's lawsuit and then go to, dude, welcome to the Quiglets. Thank you so much for joining Quaker Nation. Speaking of, you guys see that the thumbnail for this that is now changed. We are starting to actually get the brand stuff that I've talked about for like months all put together. So I'm super excited. Just for the fancy ass fit. Thank you so much, goofy fella. I appreciate that a lot. But we're gonna have some of that stuff. I have some other stuff that's also coming together, and we will have potential merch stuff. But if not that, just some more interesting stuff for the streams and also for the videos. Might also be developing an intro thing. Should I take a shot? Are we doing shot news? Are we doing shot drama? Is that really? If you guys want me to, I will. Just know that I might get less eloquently spoken as the night progresses. Shot drama, is that the bit that we do? Let me get some music going back here just so we have something in the background. Flip a coin if you lose, do shot drama. Okay. Hold on here. Let me see. We're gonna skip this one. Where is, let's make sure we don't have vocals on these, just instrumentals. Okay. Facts, flip a coin. All right, let's flip a coin. I'll show it to you guys. We'll use our coin flipping machine here. And then we can also talk about the Dr. Lupo stuff today because it's very interesting. And there's some stuff that I didn't include in the video because it just would have taken more time. 15 minutes was satisfactory. Okay. Let's see here. What the hell? This is the wrong one. Leave this one. You. There it is. Okay. If you don't do it, all of us, including the 10-year-olds that watch, if you don't do a shot, all of us have to. You guys should just in general. Do alcohol, drink it. Matter of fact, the keys are glowing. Okay, we'll do purple background. I will call, if it lands tails, I will take a shot. If it lands heads, someone out there has to. And send a video of it in the Discord. You taking a shot. And I feel my car keys flying to my hands like Thor's hammer. That is very real. Okay, here we go. Quinthio's promoting drunk driving. Not if you're not good at it. Don't waste other people's time if you suck at it. Son of a bitch, it's tails. Okay, so I have to go take a shot. Okay, so we'll get this prepped here. Give me 2 seconds. We've got this one set up. I've come a little bit prepared. Let me see here. Well, we do have, this is actually the, what do you guys want to do first? Logan, don't hawk flash me. Do you guys want to do the, what do you guys want to do first? I didn't check. Is it Logan Paul stuff first? Dude, welcome to the Quiglets. Also, Shelf, holy shit. Welcome as well. Damn. There we go. Oh, I didn't see. We didn't give us chronological. Okay. Chronologically, it goes the Logan Paul. Let's see. There we go. Where's my? There it is. It goes Logan Paul, Mr. Beast doing his weird ass message, and we can just all go over. We can also go over the fucking just like the very fake altruism, virtue signaling bullshit. Just some like random bumps to pick, and then it's Hawk Tua, and then we could talk about the Dr. Lupo stuff. Mr. Beast 100 something versus one gorilla, dude. It's so goofy. Oh wait, I was trying to shift click. My bad. You're totally good. And we can also cover some of the other stuff from the previous week if you guys want to, but also we'll go over the astrologer that got arrested in Myanmar, and I kind of want to talk about the Johnny Smalley stuff too, because I saw a little bit more about that. But okay, cool. Hang out with me. Let me give you something to distract you with. Let's see. What can I bother you guys with for a short period of time? Let's see. One sec. I think I have something. Don't laugh meme compilation. Those usually suck now, don't they? What's up, J fam? I'll be right back. Like genuinely 30 seconds. I will be back in like 30 seconds. I have to go grab a shot. This is awesome. Okay. Move you guys over. starts with Mutahar, so it's got to be good. I don't even know what's in this, so if it's terrible, I apologize. What the? How am I screwing this up, bro? I'm a professional. Let's mute up music here. Okay. The moment your pixel isn't on screen, I'm counting. Okay, okay, here we go, here we go.
You get 3 hearts, and every time you laugh, you lose a heart. Good luck.
This is so dumb. Shout out to whoever made this, whatever channel it is, whatever. All right.
It's over, baby! It's over! First page in the book! And that's the bottom line! Because Stone Cold said so! Somebody give me a hell yeah!
This song is called A World on Fire.
आज ऑमलेट नहीं बनाऊंगा तेल का ऑमलेट बनाऊंगा
Peach! 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 Peach!
Some water? Ready?
Who's that? Who's that guy?
Journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
I want to feel like it's raining on me, okay?
How come there's more of you when I put on a fucking Laugh You Lose compilation? 30 seconds of Pat. Eat shit. Don't type. I was saying hi to my fiance. You holeless mongrels.
Stay safe, my boy. And be back before
He's not a
5, you
hoe.
heard? Oh, shit, they shooting! Damn, they got
defend
switch! Run, run!
She's not a garden utensil. Fuck did I join? Your fiance ruined your speedrun any percent. I was trying to find a Family Guy stream, but this came so that's fine. With your shout out O Block. Goofy fella, do I know you? Like, where have you been? You're funny as fuck. Show up to streams more, man. Finally did that King Von clap. That's Mary. That's really funny. You're engaged, aren't you a kid? Yeah, no, they're a child predator. The person I'm engaged to. They be predating this predated kid. I'm a rapper too. Okay. So I have soju, so I'll do a double shot because I know it's a little bit weaker. Cheers. This is grape juice. I was waiting for him outside of school yesterday. Babyface. I don't know if you want to be the one making that claim, you know? Oh, it's apple flavored. God, I'm stoked. All right, if any of you are above the legal drinking age from wherever you're located, now's your time to join me parasocially as we both drink together, something that is non-alcoholic. What's your skincare routine? I get in the shower and then I get out of it after I like shampoo and stuff. I have a bunch of pimples and shit right now. All right, shit. Cheers. Check out this sick mug that isn't even mine. It's one of my buddies, but he's letting me use it while it's over here. Shout out Jake. I'm calling tails. Oh, do I need to flip it for you guys? It already happened. Also an ad will run shortly. AliExpress microplastic mug. This is actually made of metal and it hurts to hold on to because it's pointy. All right, cheers. We'll do a goal. I have not drank in a minute. It's been like, I feel like a week. Okay. We'll start off simple, okay? Yep, 30 minutes. I don't think I can put that I'll take a shot. I can't do that. All right, that's what I'll do. I will do a SpongeBob voice for the entirety of one of the stories. That is what I'll do. How many coin flips for you to unbutton the top button? Dude, I miss you too. Let's hang out this weekend. I'm not working tomorrow. All right, let's get into what we're actually here for. So you guys wanted to start with Logan Paul, is that correct? All right. I'm off all week. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. Do what you want. Okay.
All right. Patrick. All right. You guys want to hear about fucking Logan Paul? From a little sponge under the sea. Should I be Freak Bob for this? For Mr. Logan Paul. Little Freak Bob. Hitting you up.
0.61. Yeah, of course. Thank you to Shelf again for 60 cents.
Hey, it's Freak Bob.
Okay. So let's get things kicked off. Yeah. Can you do an NPC stream? What the fuck does that even mean? Freaky Bobby?
All right. So, here we go. Let's start from the top here. That's not the top. Dude, turn the fucking music down. When I hit pause, what I'm expecting is that it's gonna stop my music player from playing, but instead it starts playing Spotify. I don't fucking own Spotify.
How much donations to see the puppy? We have to start another goal. Okay, so I'll do it. I don't know what. Another story. What's another voice you guys want? I'll do a Logan. You know my voices. What is a good voice for a goal? Kermit? Actually, Kermit's good. I can do pretty decent. Pretty fucking fine. Oh, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I can do one like that. Yup.
Okay, I'll do a Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse impression for 5 minutes because I will tap out with the Mickey Mouse one. And we'll do this and we'll just raise it to there. Okay. Cool. All right. I gotta commit to the first dono though.
So you guys want to hear about Logan Paul? There's a channel called Beck and Schizo that does these funny impressions of Phineas and Buford from PF, and they argue about nuclear fission. It's honestly the funniest thing.
Indian scammer. I can't get away with that. How much donations for the story? Let's get started. Yeah. I've been talking to you like 5 days, so I don't remember you.
Yeah, not really, no.
Okay, so Logan Paul nuked his own lawsuit. Yeah. Here's my video about it, talking about it. Just got a recent haircut. Look at that Frankenstein fade that they hit me with. I asked for a fade, by the way, and they just went, let's just straighten up your shit. Oh, that's me on my knees. Okay. So I gave some intro.
You ever have a clip you just want to share with your friends? You can't go back
No.
in the game and the replay's gone forever. Outplayed has
Oh my God, fuck off.
To find other more due to think.
So this stems from the original reason that this broke is that this gal that owns this channel, Legal Bites. Actually, let's go to their channel through this here. Legal Bites. Look at that. It's us. Legal Bites went over and covered the release of this information. So TLDR, Mr. Logan Paul here. I'm sure I don't need to go into full detail about who Logan Paul is.
So Logan Paul, I can't believe I fucking forgot. I do have premium just on my personal account. Pussy. Essentially, Logan Paul, not the greatest guy. You know, he's done scams, he's done some pretty bad stuff, and CoffeeZilla, a man who has exposed Logan Paul multiple times for his Crypto Zoo shenanigans. As a matter of fact, he's made multiple videos talking about him. Well, essentially, right, he goes ahead and he's doing this lawsuit against CoffeeZilla. He's going for slander, defamation. The reason for it, Logan doesn't like being talked back to. He really hates it. He doesn't like anyone talking to him like this. So what he does, you've never heard of Pogan Lol? Well, fuck you. We're not talking about him. We're talking about Logan Paul. We're talking about Logan Paul. So Logan Paul, right? Bad guy. Doesn't do good stuff. You guys heard of Crypto Zoo? Sure you heard of Crypto Zoo. Scam people out of millions of dollars. Something I'd never make at the Krusty Krab. Well, TLDR, CoffeeZilla is saying, hey, there's this law case, there's this defamation case that I'm dealing with right now with Logan Paul. He's suing my ass for, reasons I'll try to debate in court. And he's also, Mr. Logan Paul, embroiled in a lawsuit, a federal lawsuit with the investors who got scammed out of his project, the CryptoZoo scam. So CoffeeZilla goes to the court and goes, hey, one of these is taking place in some other goofy fella. You're going to need to fucking lock in, okay? Okay. Patrick, sorry. So essentially, Logan Paul has these two cases running in two different districts. And the reason for that is because he's trying to avoid, allegedly, he's trying to dodge an anti-SLAPP law. Anti-SLAPP law, what is that? Well, anti-SLAPP is essentially preventing someone from just suing you frivolously with no actual expectation of winning the case, just to financially cause an issue for you and make your life a living hell. That's assuming that that's what Logan Paul's doing here. So CoffeeZilla goes, hey, let's put both cases under the same district and just have them both dealt with by the same courts to make this more efficient, because I'm not made of money. That's CoffeeZilla. And he doesn't have time for this shit. And he doesn't have the resources to try to drag this out like Logan Paul is. So what does he do? What does he do? Let me show you. While CoffeeZilla says, hey, I want to bring these two cases together, he also provides new evidence suggesting that Logan Paul is doing this and doing it in bad faith. What is bad faith? Keep hearing those buzzwords. Well, take a look here. All right, I'm cutting out the SpongeBob voice. How was that? There you go. So,
the legal system.
Let's take a look at these scummy texts that they're talking about. Now, in this video, Legal Bytes does a great job. They outline the background of what has happened, essentially, with Logan Paul. They go into the defamation lawsuit because there was a bit of an interest here. Logan Paul originally wanted to sue CoffeeZilla for the 3-part trilogy that he did covering the CryptoZoo scam, but he couldn't because the, what is that called? The amazing, I'll call Tom Kenny. Thank you so much. Please don't. He'll be mad. The reason for this, the reason that he did the defamation more recently, what is it called? Statute of limitations for a defamation case is 1 year. So all of the trilogy of videos that CoffeeZilla had made about Logan, which he originally wanted to get him on defamation for, he originally had that set up, for him to have made that, he would have had to have done it within the year that he had posted those. But he was only thinking of suing CoffeeZilla after about 1.5 years that those had been out. This is actually, we can watch this here at the timing of the defamation.
In the United States, a defamation is true in Texas, which is where these cases were filed in federal court. And looking back, CoffeeZilla's original 3-part CryptoZoo series was published in December 2022.
Here, let me also give you guys captions. There
Meanwhile, Paul waited until June 27th, 2024 to file his defamation claim, 1.5 years after CoffeeZilla basically throttled him in the public sphere. This means Paul couldn't sue over the original YouTube series. He had to find other more recent statements that CoffeeZilla made about basically the same subject and sue him over those. And I've got to say, of the 3 statements that Logan Paul identifies in his complaint that he says are defamatory, 2 of those actually make it into the lawsuit basically by the skin of their teeth under the statute of limitations. The first was on June 29th.
So this is, and it's really interesting because it almost seems like, I'm not making this claim that it's like absolutely true, but it feels like some of the like points that he made here, like, so Logan Paul, so he did this whole thing, and I think she might even talk about it, so I might just get pause champed. Hold on.
29th, 2023, when CoffeeZilla posted on X, Logan Paul really is the type of dude to thank you when you expose a scam, then block you when you remind him to pay up.
So this tweet
then
here.
The type of dude to thank.
So this tweet, Logan Paul really is the type of dude to thank you when you expose a scam, then block you when you remind him to pay up. I think my leading theory here, because I like to be a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, is that Logan Paul intentionally did this. Was like, hey, I'm going, he apologized, said that he was going to start rectifying the situation. And I feel like there is some degree of him choosing not to do that, not only to avoid paying those people because he's a scummy, because he's a scumbag piece of shit, but also because I think he was banking on the fact that CoffeeZilla would say something about it. And then if he says something about it, then he can call him out for that on defamation if he thinks that or if Logan thinks that it's like enough to get him to make a case about it. And so, I mean, this is a perfect example. Logan Paul really is the type of dude to thank you when you expose his scam and then block you when you remind him to pay up. So him calling out that Logan Paul did a scam, that's what he needed. And you can hear from her, he literally set this up and he included those as a part of the defamation case, like literally just in time for it to be considered within the statute of limitations. Where is Lattezilla? Fucking double hand clap for you there, goofy fellow. Throttled him, bro, skull fucked him. Yeah, thrice.
Thank you when you expose a scam, then block you when you remind him to pay up. Then the second statement was on June 30th, 2023, when CoffeeZilla posted a video to YouTube titled Logan Paul's Scam Isn't Over. And the third
there it was, Logan Paul's scam isn't over. Using that word scam is
statement
what
is another YouTube
was able to get him to use it for the defamation case.
Video, which CoffeeZilla published on January 5th.
So they were talking about that. And then she also goes into detail talking about this motion to transfer. And that was what I kind of referenced about CoffeeZilla wanting to pair the two cases together, which would just make it more efficient. And that's in the interest both of the people that are invested in this court case, like CoffeeZilla, typically what you would expect, also Logan Paul, but that's not the case here. We'll show you why in a sec. But because it's also for the benefit of the courts, they enjoy not wasting time. Keep in mind, the people on the jury, I mean, I was even getting comments on my video talking about other people that have been on jury duty. There are some people that are just getting paid $20 a day, like completely, which is so far below minimum wage. It's not even funny, but there are people there that are doing that. There's also people that are getting paid to be there. Maybe not the greatest bit because they have to show up for this. And so it's in everyone's best interest unless you're doing this to try to ruin someone's life.
For venue motion is, because that context helps to introduce this other theory and also gets into what these whole text messages are all about. So CoffeeZilla's motion is, like I said, asking to transfer the venue of this lawsuit from San Antonio to Austin to be litigated with the class action case, and so that the other court can see if maybe the two cases should be consolidated together into one case. And then in the same motion, CoffeeZilla is also asking the court to stay the case until a decision has been made about whether there's enough overlap to transfer it. This means he's asking to effectively freeze the litigation in the case until that decision has been made. And the main reason for asking for this is because he says there's enough overlap between.
And yeah, she's going to go into detail, but again, they're just similar enough. They have enough overlap between the two cases, since we're kind of just talking about CryptoZoo in general, that is important. Because keep in mind, people are suing him because they believe they were scammed by Logan because he did not follow through on the promise of CryptoZoo. And this defamation case kind of hinges on the fact that CoffeeZilla believes that the CryptoZoo case was a scam. Most people think that. So if he freezes it until, you know, this actual merging happens, then he can use the fact that if they find these investors to be, you know, correct, that they deserve their money back, that this was a scam, then that is only going to aid and benefit in CoffeeZilla to prove his point in the other case. Likewise, it would be to the benefit of Logan Paul to consolidate them both, because because whatever they end up deciding for CryptoZoo is going to have a huge impact on his defamation case. I'm sure that makes sense. Is that connecting the dots for you guys? Good enough exposition, we can get into the nasty little text messages. The ancient lady on your screen, she looks like 30. What? Calm down, goofy fellow. Sufficient enough. Shall we move to the juicy bits? Oh, actually, you know what? There was also a really good part here. Logan Paul tried to get access to texts between CoffeeZilla and one of his buddies who's an attorney, and it ended up falling through. I didn't include it in my video because she's much better at going in depth than this. I want to show you guys this though. It's really fucking funny. And he got denied, and the judge looked at the text and went,
Real reason that Paul filed this defamation claim isn't to get compensated for being defamed by him. Rather, it's to do two improper things. The first is to try to get discovery on this other CryptoZoo class action lawsuit through CoffeeZilla when everything else in that case over there is otherwise stayed. So that might have sounded confusing. Hold on. This other to do two improper things. The first is to try to get discovery on this other Crypto Zoo class action lawsuit through CoffeeZilla when everything else in that case over there is otherwise stayed.
So what you just heard, just to clarify, Logan Paul seemed to be attempting through this defamation case to get more information because CoffeeZilla has been so deeply invested in this like scam investigation. There might be information that he can derive from discovery, discovery being the gathering of information and evidence at the beginning of a case. He can collect this information from this case that he has, this defamation case with CoffeeZilla, and then use that information improperly, as that you shouldn't be doing that, to use that to bolster his defense in the class action lawsuit where people are suing him for scamming them out of CryptoZoo. Quinn, what is your opinion on GTA 6 getting delayed to May 26, 2026? I feel like you're joking. If you're not joking, it also doesn't really matter. I wasn't the hugest fan of GTA 5. I just like running around and like flying really far and like falling out of helicopters and like trying to land in pools. Like that was the extent of my enjoyment for GTA. Just keep it $150 with you.
Basically frozen. I'll explain that in just a moment. But the second improper thing is just to be a self-described petty billionaire using his massive wealth to essentially bankrupt CoffeeZilla through litigation. Now, these two arguments fit together with this motion to transfer venue because they both have to do with economy and efficiency of litigation. Essentially, if the court agrees that there's enough overlap between these two cases that it makes sense to put them together in some form or another, it really helps if CoffeeZilla can also show that Logan Paul has basically been a bad actor in filing this lawsuit in the first place, and that Paul's bad acts have been to intentionally make things less economic and less efficient, because that makes it less economic and less efficient for everyone, including the courts. Okay, so
with all of that, like she says, getting out of the way, sorry, stuff on my glasses. Let's get into the actual messages that were included. I played GTA 5 to hang out with a couple of buddies and hold up the military base for genuine hours. That sounds hilarious. Okay, let's get into the actual messages. Sorry, I have to clean my glasses because there's stuff on them. So here, let me actually cut to here.
In the class action case represented by attorney Tom, multiple defendants have filed motions to dismiss the case, including Logan Paul himself. And so in the meantime, the court has stayed all discovery in all proceedings until they've decided on those motions. That means everything in that case is frozen in time, and no one is allowed to do really much of anything until the judge makes a decision on these motions. And CoffeeZilla says Paul, however, wanted to take matters into his own hands to obtain discovery. Before Paul filed this suit against CoffeeZilla, he admitted in a pleading in the Holland case, the class action case, that he intended to obtain discovery from CoffeeZilla. And then
Mr. Paul intends to seek third-party discovery from CoffeeZilla on an expedited basis. Right there.
CoffeeZilla includes essentially a screenshot of one of Paul's filings where he says Mr. Paul intends to seek third-party discovery from CoffeeZilla on an expedited basis. It is a bit suspicious that he was trying to go that.
Oh, and this is talking about him trying to get that from him. But now, like I said, let's get into the messages.
That was a cat.
Cat freaks out.
This is billions of dollars to destroy.
So first she shows that they're making the claims, but then they actually show the messages that
his own messages
CoffeeZilla included in this. Excuse me. So here are the text messages. Now they're showing up now. Let's move that over. So Paul says originally, which is a bit more tame, lawyering up, suing this motherfucker into the ground. Someone says, then everything will come out. Court docs public. And he says, so everyone will see what happened for better or for worse. Now, she makes a comment here, which is really funny, that Logan probably wasn't expecting that his messages would end up being a part of this case. So it just ends up being a bit ironic that he says this. I think that's the proper use of it. He says, there we go. So now he starts, and I mean, like, this is truly, he is talking like an evil villain to his henchmen in like a cartoon show. Okay, I think there's one more here. There it is. So his friend says to Logan Paul to let others know it's not worth coming at you, talking about, the lawsuit and stuff. There's a price to pay. Logan Paul responds, that's the idea. Need to shut it down. And then his friend says public humiliation is always more effective. He used the wrong effective, so we know it's Logan Paul's friend. And then Paul responds, totally agree. So again, I would admit that that's still a bit tame because it seems like more so his friend is doing it and he's just kind of agreeing with him. And then Paul, now we don't have like the full context for it, but it's assumed and included with what she has talked about, that Logan Paul is referencing why he's suing CoffeeZilla. And he says, just to make his life difficult. By the way, you know, I've spoken to the guy for the pirate software stuff, Mario, the lawyer, and he talks about anti-slap and what that means. It means that to sue someone just to make their life difficult, that's what anti-slap's for. It's to avoid doing frivolous lawsuits because that's a scummy thing to do. When you have more money than someone, just know that you can do it to ruin their life. So this in front of a court is going to go insane, but it gets worse. Logan Paul follows up with the most cartoonish, Zilla will pay one way or another. I'll make sure of it. Huh? Just like the most absolutely diabolical lines. And then his friend tries to talk him out of it. That's what you're seeing right here. Bro, you're a billionaire. To which Logan Paul responds, yeah, a petty billionaire. I just want you guys to envision that you are on this jury. You are pulled from your job. And like, let's face it, most jobs are going to be making more than like $20 a day, like $9 an hour, whatever it ends up being. You are losing money. You are, for the sake of your country, doing your righteous citizen duties for your country to show up to this jury duty. Maybe you get free lunch out of it. You show up and you find out through discovery that the reason that you're there, one of the people that is involved in this suit, the person who has started this lawsuit, is calling themselves a petty billionaire that they're only suing just to make someone else's life difficult, including yours, and they have gone out of their way to do this because they're spiteful and they have the money. How do you think that would impact your vote on a jury? Probably not super well, I would assume. UFC looking good tomorrow. Oh, UFC? Like the fights? Sheesh. We're doing a drama coverage. So the fact that this has all been included is genuinely, from even what they're saying, Legal Bites, that is enough to tank his case. Like that is enough to completely sway a jury. Because all he has to do is he'll go up on that stand, or even the defense will bring him up as a witness, or like to testify. And usually in a defamation case, the person who is calling for the defamation, who is like, you know, bringing the suit against somebody, there's kind of an obligation for them to testify. So they'll bring him on. They'll ask him why he's doing this lawsuit. He'll answer with whatever BS he's going to answer with. And then they're going to follow up by showing the jury these text messages. Congratulations. Your argument for the fundamental, like, bringing about of this case is completely destroyed. So I do not think that they're going to be sticking around. What is even Logan's lawyers going to say to that? This was taken out of context. Dude, guaranteed. Guaranteed. They'll say the taken out of context bit. Yeah. Sorry, what the fuck? There we go. Lock in. Focus. There we go. So that's kind of where that's at. We haven't seen any updates from it yet. I'm assuming, and it's for the best, that CoffeeZilla probably doesn't talk about it at all. It'd be really funny if Logan talked about it. But those were the messages that were leaked. And truly, I mean, I had forgotten that CoffeeZilla was even in a lawsuit. I forgot that he was in one with him. So, you know, good to know. So now that one kind of comes to a wrap. So we haven't had any updates on that. I'll, of course, make a video and talk about it more after that. But let's lead into the next story. What do you guys want to hear next? We can go over. Let's take a look at this. Let me close out of this one here. So this one is complete. We have, where is it? Let's move over to, so our choices here. Mr. Beast being a bit of a goofball, all admittedly, like even that video is short because there wasn't a whole ton to really cover. He was just saying some freaky shit. He retweeted someone saying the N-word in their post. Like, that's not really a big deal. It just looks really funny. We also have Hawk to a Girl and their complete fall off. I actually checked their video again. Admittedly, it's not at 4,000 views. It's at 8,000 views now. so it has gone up a little bit. We can talk about that. And we also have the Dr. Lupo drama that we can get more in depth on. What are you guys thinking? Your Honor, my client's pants went on fire after sending that text, so it's clear that he was joking, honestly. Fallout Girl? Okay, we'll do Miss Hawk Tua. One last thing, jury duty requires your boss to give you off and can't use PTO, so you're definitely losing money. People don't like their time wasted. Absolutely not, especially the courts. Courts are already backed up. Like, you can't get that done in a timely manner. Like, there are people that are backed up by years. And so doing shit like this is only making that worse for other people. But let's get into Miss Hawk Tua. Can I call her Miss? Is that right? Haley Welch. That's her name, Haley Welch. So let's go over this. Might as well include, fun fact, there was an entire interview. Did you guys know the Hawk Tua thing? I thought it was just a clip. It is not just a clip. Hold on here. That's really dumb. I'll have to figure that out at some point. Okay. So let's cut over to, this is the original video. They changed the name of it to Hawk Tua Original Video. 9.3 million. It was an entire interview where they chatted with her a couple of times. This is when she made her first appearance.
How do you get over a breakup?
Get drunk. Like we're doing right now.
Y'all get over a breakup right now?
The only way to get over one is get under another. Amen.
So there she goes.
Not reply.
And then the classic.
You gotta answer this. You got it.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tua and spit on that thing. You get me?
I don't get you. I think you gotta demonstrate. Hawk
Tua and spit on it.
So he's trying his best. I'm gonna admit with you, I'm gonna be real with you guys for a real quick sec. I am dumbfounded that this blew up so crazy. I don't know who was like, was this really funny to any of you? Like, I don't know what group of people Hawk Tua was like so fucking funny to. Like, I do not know how it blew up. Truly. I never found it funny, and I only knew about it afterwards because she was blowing up, because she was trying to make like an entire brand deal out of it. Bro's never been Hawk Tua'd, clearly. I guess not. There it is. Like, I don't know. It was just it's just a funny person like out in the street, but not like 9.3 million views. Like, clearly I missed the bus on this one. Thanks, Ogies. I will get back to you guys after Logan and I reconnect and I learn about the Hawk Tua. But let's jump over. So, Hawk Tua girl, she blows up. She made a lot of money in merch, like even in just those first few moments here. Let me see here. There we go. Here's a really cool story. This is one that I covered in the video. So Hawk Tua girl has already sold at least $65,000 of merch. It had been like 2 weeks after she'd blown up. So it was this guy named Fat Threads. Unfortunately, when I looked up the website, I think it's just gone now. But she goes on to say, ew, what the? Are you kidding me? Bro. How do I get rid of that? I was able to get rid of it last time, huh? Here we go. There we go. Our largest orders are usually 100 hats, maybe 150, 250 t-shirts. This was out of the normal for us. Hi, Haley Welch. Small family-owned shop. We're all hands on deck now. He declined to say what percentage of profits she was receiving. Initially, Rimmon, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? There's some people, crazy people in this world who have reached out, but she was selling signed hats which retail for $50 and they were sold out. So we have that. Branda's already sold more than 2,000 Hawk Tuah hats, but in total it was 65 grand. So she was just blowing up like crazy. Okay, dude, I'm not logging in. Invasive pest with deadly venom spreads across the blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. This is why you use Opera GX, ladies and gentlemen, not sponsored. But back to it. Hawk to it, if you will. Talk to it. Talk to it. Speak with that thing. That was bad. I'm sorry. Well, so a couple months later, back in August, right? She throws the kick. She throws the first throw of the Mets game, the first pitch of a Mets game. Crazy stuff. So insane. Let me 700 actually. I can show you that without having to like do a manhunt for it. There we go. There's her throwing for the Mets game. Wow, look at that. I completely off-centered that too. It should have been to the right a little more. There she goes throwing that. And then she's also doing this, like, she opens up in August with the Talk to a podcast. Talk to a podcast for you guys. Do you guys know the Talk to a podcast? It's bad. Like, it's just not a good podcast. But it blew up. They have like 200,000 subs. And it was literally a podcast. It came out of, and it was like sponsored or franchised by the brand, by Jake Paul's media company called Better. And here is a clip from that.
I even learned that you can't bring a box cutter on a plane. So we'll be talking about all the crazy stuff that's happened since I got into this mess, and the stuff that me and Chelsea like to do before all this happened. And I want you guys to get to know me better than Hawk Tuah. No, it's tuh. Like, you really got to put your emphasis. Yeah, you're not saying tuah, you're saying tuh, you know? Like, you got to really put your back into it.
10 seconds.
Tuh, you know?
10 seconds you'll never get back.
My first guest is going to be somebody that's very dear to me, Miss Whitney Cummings. Make sure you hit follow on Talk Tuah wherever you get your podcast. We're releasing episodes every Tuesday. And for those of you watching on YouTube, be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to that thing.
They did not post every Tuesday. It is the intro of, what do you call that? This is like an intro of a sitcom show from the Midwest and South.
Keep all this in. This is the key to you is don't overthink anything. Don't plan or plot anything. The key to your success is just flying by the seat of your pants and being exactly who you are.
That's why I think me and you connect on a different level.
I think so too. We both also find the same men in their 20s attractive.
Yeah.
We have the same type.
Welcome back to Talk Tuah. Today I got Miss Whitney Cummings. Y'all have already seen her.
So some highlights from this one specifically, why it's time to stop shaving your vagina hair. That was a really cool part. How Haley reacted to the Hawk Tuah video dropping. Haley teaches Chelsea the Hawk Tuah. Mind-blowing relationship advice. Decorating your vagina. That was another highlight. Matter of fact, you can you can tell by the engagement marks. See how you can see little ramps here. This one right here about talking about decorating your vagina looks like a vagina. So that's really cool. And then we got over here. See, shit on that thing. That was another really big highlight from this podcast. And Haley's exes and relationship advice, and biggest turn-ons. Haley might be entering her lover girl era. So, very scintillating stuff. Decorating your vagina, stop shaving it, just really scintillating, interesting stuff to listen to for an hour. But they had some interesting people on, like shockingly interesting people. Oh shit, maybe they were posting every Tuesday. Never mind. That is like 4 a month, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, shit. No, they were. Never mind. I lied. But take a look at this, right? So they had some cool people on. Let's see here. Jojo Siwa. They had, I don't know who that is. Some other famous people that I just do not recognize. But Jake Paul showed up on one. Wiz Khalifa which is a bit mind-blowing. Good job, Wiz Khalifa. And then Mark Cuban, of course, and Brooke Schofield, which I think I said Schofield last time. So they had this cool thing going, this talk to a podcast. And as much as people wanted to hate on it, it was doing views. It was doing well. So we jump over now to what happened. CoffeeZilla got his mitts on the Talk to a podcast because what happened was they began to start to release a meme coin, the $ Hawk coin. It was very big. They were very excited about it as a crypto coin. Now, admittedly, I don't think Haley Welch knew very much about crypto going into this, and I don't think that I think she learned a bit more going out of it, because what precipitated, that's the wrong word for this, because leading up to this, I'm assured that the team that convinced her to do this crypto thing was like, you're going to make a lot of money. It's not illegal. And that's probably what was enough for her, blinded by the lights, if you will. So they started this, worked with that team. Is it a real shocker coming from a media company with Jake Paul? No, I don't think so. But they started setting it up, and their focus, which is something that CoffeeZilla brings up in his video where he talked about this, and this blew up, 6.1 million views, exposing the Hawk to a scam. They talked about and focused on scamming people that did not know what crypto was. So let's see here. I think it'll actually, there it is. So this was part of their PowerPoints talking about setting this up. Massive onboarding event. Hawk will onboard normies, non-crypto users, by linking to Web2 social media, making it easy for Haley's fans to create wallets via social login and claim free tokens. So what that means is they were, what is that even called? They were hunting for and looking to exploit people that had no idea what crypto was, non-crypto users, normies. So the goal was to trick the people that could be tricked about this kind of stuff and manipulate them, get them to buy this crypto, and then do a pump and dump scheme. For those who don't know, crypto, a pump and dump scheme is essentially someone hypes up, usually with content creators or public figures, they hype up a crypto coin that's about to be released. They pre-sale a bunch of the coin, meaning people don't actually have to buy it at market value or buy it at all. They're just given the coin because having a stock of that coin increases its value, to my understanding. And then when it gets released publicly, a bunch of people start buying it because they're expecting an investment. So the value of the coin goes up. And then these people that own a large portion of the coin, well, all of their assets also increase in value. And then once they hit a threshold that they're happy with, they just sell all of their coin. And when you sell all of it, it lowers the value substantially. So this crypto coin that Haley Welch, the Hawk to a name, was put on, had a market cap when it released of about $500 million. It was like 490. In 3 hours, enough of it was pumped and dumped that the crypto coin, the Hawk coin, lost 90% of its value in 3 hours. That is insane. And by the way, a lot of the people buying into this, like I said, were these actual, like, legitimate fans of Haley Welch, of like all of this stuff. So that was her loyal fan base at this point. Keep in mind, these people had been sticking around for a couple months now. And these people were saying yes to and like getting involved with the crypto stuff that was a part of like her Twitter and social medias like that. So like you had to be dedicated. So these people were willing to do this, right? So he talks about this. While it's going live, while it's going public and stuff, they're doing active damage control because people are seeing it. There are snipers that are sniping the crypto. They tried to combat this, they said, by putting up these really high fees when you purchase a ton of the crypto. That didn't work. They just pocketed a lot of money on top of it. But CoffeeZilla hops into a Twitter space, which is apparently like a public Discord, like voice chat, and starts arguing with the people that were kind of like leading the team on this crypto scam.
Questions. I have questions. I'm raising my hand. Hey, guys.
What, CoffeeZilla?
Hey, this is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
I've been tracing it on chain for a while. You guys generated over $1 million in fees while y'all's fans got rug pulled. There was snipers, but there was also insider trading directly linked to y'all's creator account. What are you guys doing?
No. That's not true. That's
That
not
is
true.
true. That's a
No,
fact.
it's not.
Well, it's a fact, and you can see it on Chain. So
Yeah, we know. We trust me. We were there. We could answer that.
you
No,
know about the insider trading?
no. There's no insider trading. That's why we can answer it.
Okay, so there's tokens
CoffeeZilla,
going directly from the main account,
CoffeeZilla, just chill for a second,
and then it's getting sold for 50K. Who is that?
Now, you might seem a bit abrasive right now, but he has been chatting with them. He's, splicing in clips. These people would not let him speak. They were doing their best to avoid letting this guy speak.
Definitely not us. You think we're doing this for 50K? Yeah, fucking right. Talking to the wrong guy. You're used to these bullshit scammers out here. Not us. Now,
That's what everyone says, by the way.
Listen,
Everyone says,
doesn't
"Not me."
matter. No, I'm not everyone. There was a strategic allocation, right, through a foundation. Every single one of those was signed through a SAFT. The deployer.
There's an actual.
So yeah, they're just giving him a shit ton of bullshit. And then I think this might be the peak, the pinnacle, when Haley ends up pulling the plug.
Like
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. I guess we're talking over here.
Can you imagine being?
She says that she goes to bed, and she said she'll talk to them tomorrow. She'll talk to them tomorrow. She proceeds to go completely radio silent for, I think, the next 2 weeks. So she did not get back to them tomorrow. Another lie to add on to her career here. And so it did not go well. Some class action lawsuits are underway right now. I believe there's one, a federal class action lawsuit against the crypto, but it did not list Haley Welch as being a part of this. What's up, Trayden? I swallowed wrong. Fuck. But she wasn't included. She was not listed as one of the people that they were accusing. They've kind of separated her from the entity of the team, essentially, that put up and created this crypto for her, or for her brand, I should say. But she said that she's willing to help them, discover the truth and stuff. Skinny of it is, it was a rug pull. She got, whether she was finessed knowingly or unknowingly, she was finessed, and they used her fan base and tried to drain their pockets. Well, unfortunately for Haley Welch, fortunately for the rest of mankind, this had a detrimental effect on the Hawk Tuah brand and legacy. Because as we take a look now, they tried to come back with the Talk to a podcast. They hadn't done it for, I think it was like 3 months, 4 months. And then so they attempted a return. And what better way to kick off this return? Keep in mind, during this, all of, this turmoil and stuff, there was a leaked episode with FaZe Banks, which you guys probably don't know. I didn't really get fully into it. I don't think it's as relevant because they didn't keep it on. But let's jump to their return podcast. So keep in mind, let's actually show here. How to avoid getting canceled. The irony is not lost, I think, on her. And it's with Brooke Schofield. Talk to her. 727,000 views. Okay. They follow this up, coming back. And during this process, during all of that, like I said, I completely derailed. Jake Paul drops their podcast. He removes them from the media company. And so now it's ran by Haley Welch completely here. They bring it back with KSI. The assumption, the leading theory here is KSI was doing a favor for Jake Paul, maybe, even though that they weren't, running the media company, or maybe they worked with him, chatted, gave him money, something like that. And so KSI shows up on the Talk to a podcast. 80,000 views, 79K. For those who don't know, 79K, 727, that is nearly a 90% drop off in viewership. And this is a big one, right? It had KSI, it was a very big deal. Yeah, no, it did terribly. And I think I've already kind of spoiled it, but they followed up a week later, doing the every Tuesday thing. Chanel West Coast goes country. 22,000 views. That is a fourth of the amount of views that they have, because they nearly have 80,000. That is a fourth of the video of the views from even just the one after that. Following up after that, 20,000 with Haley and Chelsea Meet with the Recappers, and now most recently, 3 days ago, I'm addicted to Facebook Marketplace with Chase Matthew. Chase Matthew is a big country big country singer. Let me pull this up actually. Egad. Where is it? Hello? Chase Matthew. There he is. Look at this. Chase Matthew, 2.8 million monthly listeners. This dude is absolutely somebody. He's got a fan base. They just are not looking to the Talk to a podcast to watch him speak. So now leading up to all this, like people talk about cancel culture isn't real, blah, blah, blah. And I think maybe that's right. And maybe this is a different thing. But in the way that it worked here, they did something terrible. They completely defrauded the most loyal people that were going to watch the Talk to a podcast. Because I do think that they were actually starting to develop a legitimate brand. Like they had something working. They were getting consistently very heavy views on their podcast. And it was working out, ironically or not, like it was doing well. They had a brand going and they were really developing into something. And then with this, I think in conjunction with them having to take a break because of what was going on, all of this ended up culminating in a complete drop off. Like it completely lost interest. They tried to bring it back, I think, with the KSI thing, stir a little drama, see what they could do, but it just didn't work. And now what we have left is what you would expect from a podcast with the quality that is the Talk to one. It's not interesting without the gimmick, right? They aren't the greatest in terms of like people have made probably more, if not at the very least, a substantial amount of money just from jokingly like analyzing the Talk to a podcast. There's two guys that drink wine and analyze the Talk to a podcast like it is something that is like built intentionally with multiple layers and is this like beautiful piece of art. And they're infinitely funnier and more transformative. I wouldn't say transformative, but have better content than what you see in the actual podcast. So that's where we're at now. Steadily dropping off with views to quite a substantial degree. And believe me, I know what a drop off looks like. But that's kind of where they're at now. And that brings us to a close. Talking about Talk to a. Oh yeah, then they go put on the shit. And then they got put on the shit. Yeah, then they got put on the shit. What is that? I feel like she definitely had something cooking up until the meme coin bit. Like she'd fall off eventually, like how everything does, but she definitely ran her spotlight through with that. Yeah. Talk to a. Yes, that's it. That's the podcast. My brother does it. But yeah, that's truly how that one ends up. Do you guys want to hear about the Dr. Lupo stuff now? They were put on her podcast. That's who the recappers are. Oh, were you dead ass? That's who they were? Oh, that's so funny. That makes sense. How about the Myanmar dude? Oh, we can talk about Myanmar dude. That's a great point, actually. All right, guys. So now I can clear this Hawk Tuah shit off my feed. Great. Also, if you guys are interested, Shelf, go ahead and link it. This is mainly for Logies, because I like you. To join the Discord and shoot the shit after stream tonight. But if you guys are new here, want to join the Discord, come on in. 18 plus. There's no adult content or anything. We just want to keep it 18 over. Just better for everyone, I think. But let's go into the Myanmar astrologer who was arrested for a prediction they had made about a powerful earthquake in Myanmar. We are dead. I'm dead ass gonna open this in Opera GX just for the ad thing, the ad blocker. Oh, that's much better. Okay, and then just prepping the tabs over. That's really funny that music is going. Okay. Let's take a look at this, yeah? I do not care about your Met Gala, homie. Okay. TikTok astrologer arrested for predicting another powerful earthquake in Myanmar, spreading panic. Thank you, Gala. So I'll just read off a little bit of this. Myanmar authorities have arrested a TikTok astrologer for spreading panic by predicting another strong earthquake in the aftermath of last month's tremor, state media said Thursday. His name is John Mo The, who is a TikTok following more than 300,000 followers, although albeit that is not true anymore. The TikTok account has been banned from my best understanding. I tried to find them when I was creating this video. Something bigger ended up happening, so I tossed this one aside. But their account was deleted. But I did find reposts of the video that he had posted that is in question and the reason that he got arrested. But John Mo, TikTok following, yep, made a forecast on, whoa, I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Made a forecast on April 9th that a very strong quake would hit every city in Myanmar in 12 days' time. People should not stay in tall buildings during the day, said the caption on his video, viewed 3.3 million times. Take important things with you and run away from buildings during the shaking. Last month's earthquake, which is what they're referencing after the first one, that is illegal for them because so the reason it's illegal, it's not that they made a prediction. The reason it's illegal is because they caused like public disarray or public disruption. It's, I would assume, similar in nature to yelling fire in a theater, a crowded theater, but causing that like mass public panic, that is illegal. That's where like free speech is not allowed, but it's Myanmar, so I don't know their laws as well. I don't know, think that's fine. It isn't fine if you're not showing that you're being satirical. If you're making an assumption that you have the reality and that is not true, then it is, yeah, saying fire or bomb, exactly. So back to here, didn't H.G. Wells do something similar with a radio show? Are you talking about like the aliens thing? Like there were aliens invading the planet, or is that something else, Kate? But sorry, they talk about that other devastating earthquake. Also, this was after another huge earthquake, so there was more reason, like people were more willing to believe this, although it, you know, came from an astrologer making a prediction, because something had recently happened. So last month's earthquake in Myanmar's central belt killed more than 3,700 people and has left 60,000 living in tent encampments, according to the UN, many too fearful to return home as aftershocks continue. This is a very big deal. This is a very big deal in Myanmar. Like people died due to an earthquake very freshly, like before this, and people are still living with the ramifications. 60,000 people. That is the size of a city. The 21-year-old John Mo was arrested in a morning raid on his home in central Manua City on Tuesday, according to a statement by Myanmar's military government published in state media on Thursday. We got a tip-off about fake news being spread through a TikTok account that a severe earthquake will hit, said the statement. Action will be taken effectively against him according to law. Likewise, we'll also take action effectively against those who write or spread or share fake news. Yangon resident Nan Nan told AFP that she had not believed the social media post, but many neighbors had. Most of my neighbors dared not stay in their apartments and lived out on the street that day. My friend even hired a small house outside Yangon in preparation. So there was people spending money on this. Keep in mind, Myanmar has been in civil war since 2021 and has become extremely strict. That also makes sense. His forecast included other weather disasters, the release of civilian leader Aung, maybe from Aang the Avatar, San Suu Kyi, who was deposed in the country's 2021 coup, and American airstrikes on Myanmar's soil. Also not great. Earthquake early warning systems do exist, sensing the jolt and beaming out a signal faster than the speed of the shockwave. However, the United States Geological Survey says predicting tremors ahead of time is scientifically impossible. Neither the USGS nor any other scientists have ever predicted a major earthquake, says a statement on their website. We do not know how, and we do not expect to know how anytime in the foreseeable future. There we go. So they were talking about those earthquakes and whatnot. So let's see the TikTok in question that was viewed over 3 million times. Let's see what is Myanmar's population? I would have looked that up given I had actually made this video, but let's see it. So 3.3 million views. We can assume, I would say maybe 3 million of those views were people from Myanmar surrounding area. So Myanmar has a population of 54.13 million. So that's a sizable amount of the population had seen this video. Okay, well, it's good to know. So let's see what this post was about, yeah? It's kind of hard to see. I wish I could full screen it. Oh, I can. There we go, there we go. So here it was. It's got that classic TikTok music. So it says here, 2025 421. So he was predicting the 21st of April. Earthquakes, and by the way, the police waited till after the prediction ended up being incorrect before they arrested him. So I'm led to assume that maybe if he was correct, they wouldn't have arrested him. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but that's what it seems to suggest. If he was correct, he might have gotten a position in power at the government, but he was wrong. But he said in this someone screen recorded it, looks like, earthquakes in every city in Myanmar and every city in Malaysia, Cambodia, Philippines, Thailand, Laos, all 5 countries at the same time at 12:22 Myanmar Standard Time. The earthquake will be very strong and blah, 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 blah. There's some stuff here that I cannot translate. But this was the post. So it went, it blew up, like we said, caused a mass panic, which, I mean, even in the US, causing mass panic like that is illegal. And in Myanmar, a bit more strict, and I think they were a bit more sensitive, being that they just lost 3,500 people, and earthquakes had been genuinely creating huge disasters in their location. Drip Theo, thank you very much. So it makes sense that they arrested John Moe the. But that brings us to a close on the astrology story. Most of the people I work with call themselves Karen. Hell yeah. Speak Mayan Martian. I feel like I'll get banned for that if I do. We should arrest those Mayans for predicting that the world will end on December 2012. Yeah, that would be awesome. Hassan and Ethan are debating. Are they debating right now? Ugh. I mean, that kind of... We're actually pretty close to the time I was planning to end. And we were planning to do an 1.5-hour segment, because then I can cut it down a bit. Got a Dreamcast arcade stick controller. It's bigger than the fucking console. That's sick. Should we tune into this debate? I don't think I'm going to find it that interesting. I'm not going to have anything useful to say. It's going to be a political debate. Hassan called Ethan racist. That is epic. All right, quick 30-second recap for the Dr. Lupo situation. TLDR, Dr. Lupo cheated in a chess tournament. When you cheat in chess, it's very evident, because even the best player of chess, like Magnus Carlsen, does not play as well as AI does. And you can use an AI engine to tell you what the best move is every time you play chess. So TLDR, Dr. Lupo cheated during a live tournament that he was doing with other content creators. He said that he was stepping away from the tournament because he was watching a screen of other people playing the same day that he played. And so he learned their moves, which is not fair to the sport. Not fucking true at all. A little bit later, chess.com makes a tweet saying, hey, we have removed Dr. Lupo from the tournament for a fair play violation, meaning he fucking cheated. So he ends up doubling down in his tweets. Fuck, I'll just show you guys because I have it up. Here we go. Had a lot of fun playing. Having the mainstream up on my left monitor over the course of the day to watch other games being played led to me getting move information I shouldn't have had for the game. That is such bullshit. You can actually see the community note here. Dr. Lupo later admitted he actively cheated with the assistance of a chess engine during the prize money tournament. So Ludwig has this absolute banger of a comment on this tweet saying, streets are saying it was an engine, or the streets keeping it 99. Dr. Lupo doubles down. Nah, anal beads. Also, believe me or not, I played what I played. Pulled from chat, though. Couldn't stop looking, which, as I said, I know better. So his second excuse was that he was reading chat. That was a lie. And he also said, believe me or not, nobody believed you. Not even Ripley, homie. And so people are like, that's dumb. Some people are like, oh, you know, we understand. Way to take accountability. He didn't. Imagine cheating in a fun charity tournament, actual piece of work. Ricky Berwick made fun of him because Dr. Lupo had beef with him in the past. And this guy always talks about how fucked up it is for people to cheat in games like Tarkov. There was actually a really funny post that I saved because it was so funny. Let me pull it up for you guys. I included it in the video. Highly recommend you guys check out the video. It's a much more concise coverage of this story than what I'm doing right now, but let me show you guys the the tweet. It was so fucking funny. Here we go. No, Dr. Lupo, they already know you used an engine for every move. Don't triple down on another lie. Yeah, it was really fucking funny. Not even Ripley was gold. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad people know Ripley's, believe it or not. That I feel like that's gonna fall on a few deaf ears. I did not explain the joke in the video. Maybe that's for the better. I'm glad to hear that. But yeah, it so he's like, I'm dropping out, yada yada. That was a lie. So we go over and check out chess.com. Here it is. I'm glad I saved this. Let's go take a look at Dr. Lupo's. Whoops. Or chess.com says Dr. Lupo has been closed for a fair play violation that occurred during today's PogChamp event. He will be replaced in the consolation bracket before the start of tomorrow's round. And then they follow that up. We wish everyone the best tomorrow and remind them that receiving any help during a match is a violation of our fair play policy and will result in a Dairy Queen disqualification and account closure. TLDR, your ass cheated and we know, but we're gonna be a little petty about it, or like a little like not on the nose, on the lips about it. Just, you know, there's kind of grazing past the comments like, make sure guys don't get help like from a chess engine to win your games, because then you'll get disqualified because you're not God. So like I was saying, the man, the myth, the legend himself, if you guys consume any chess content, his name is Gotham Chess, 6.28 million subs. I'm sure you guys have probably seen clips from him. He sacrifices the rook. You might know that kind of stuff. Well, he analyzed it, showcased some of the clips from this.
And again, final thoughts will come at the end. Let's focus on the chess right now. The game lesson here is,
let me go
is, you know, we have development here.
So he talks about
good. So just keep that.
He talks about this setup right
in mind. Happens
here.
The knight.
Okay. So
it goes to the d5. The best. The knight takes it.
Knight takes this thing. So he's talking about this knight taking this would be bad. What he should do is queen should like come up here, do something like that, whatever. Dr. Lupo makes a shit play. And that's expected because, believe it or not, Dr. Lupo, not very well known for being good at chess. He has like a 600 ranking or something, which is low, or on the lower end of things. Dr. Lupo blew up playing Fortnite. He's good at competitive like FPS games, that kind of style of stuff. So that's it. He's also not a doctor. It just goes by that name. Well, he makes this terrible play, and I'll show you there. And he's showing, you know, to make that play is the bad move because your horse takes this and then the bishop can take your queen, which is not good. That's what happens. So Dr. Lupo loses the queen and then suddenly he boots up his other monitor, says he started reading off chat, which wasn't true. He actually just started looking at a cheat engine or just an engine playing the chess game he was playing. And he immediately makes this play. So you guys can assume you're playing white, bishop down here. What do? You use your rook and you take it because like you're reacting, right? And that's how most of us are going to play. He, for some reason, moves his bishop up to here, which is technically, by the computer's designation, the most correct possible play. It looks incredibly unnatural if you actually play chess. He goes on to kind of talk about that and stuff. And so that's where people are like, no, you're fucking cheating. And there were a couple more plays like that, and it was really bad. Well, lo and behold, couple hours later, the next day, keep in mind on Twitch. Oh, I need to sip something. Keep in mind on Twitch, on his streams, he's gaslighting people, like being like, "Oh, these people are saying I'm cheating. Reddit's saying I'm cheating. Blah blah blah." Like, yeah, I was watching people that were like, I was watching people earlier that day. I guess that gave me advantage. Just completely lying out of his fucking ass. And I showed you guys what he said to Ludwig. I think, believe it or not, I didn't use a cheat engine. I looked at chat. Admittedly, I looked at chat. Believe me or not. No one believed him, of course, because he was fucking lying. And it's like, it is the worst excuse that he came up with. Like, the excuse that he had, I don't think it would make sense in anything. Like, if a football player was cheating using, I don't know, fucking flubber from, one of those good old Robin Williams films, was using flubber on the underside of their cleats, and people were like, hey, you were jumping 30 feet in the air, and you somehow got past their entire defensive line, or their entire defensive line and scored a touchdown. What do you have to say for yourself? And they followed up with, God, I was watching clips of them performing in a game earlier today. That's probably what gave me the advantage of jumping over their entire group, their entire defender team and scoring the touchdown. Yeah, admittedly, I guess I kind of cheated because I did research. No, that's what you do. You do research on the opponent. Like, that's not a crazy fucking assessment. So for him to have the lamest fucking excuse was just sad. And so, like, everyone was clowning the shit out of him. Well, next day, after all the gaslighting, I think he realizes that he's just fucked, because there is nobody that is really believing this outside of like a few diehard fans. So he ends up kind of coming clean a couple of times during stream.
It's okay. Like I said before, I cheated and then lied about it, and paying the price, man.
We're gonna need.
Probably gonna take a break after this.
Hopefully,
I'm good.
Feed the birds. Hopefully, there's containers in this game when it comes out, because fuck.
Yeah. Also.
Yeah. And then this one was very juicy.
I think it's the only way to actually. Handle mistakes, because I made a
Admittedly,
really big, really stupid one.
He's playing Arc Raiders. I haven't seen this game, but yeah. Sorry.
I think it's the only way to actually handle mistakes, because I made a really big, really stupid one in front of thousands of people, and fight or flight hit. I panicked and tried to lie, and man, that was dumb as fuck too. Yeah. Anyway, so for a long time, like I said, I had been seeing a therapist.
Mental health, right?
I have tried to work on with him, and like I said, I need to find a new one. Is the fragility of my ego. You can see it in previous streams too, where people, in fact, when Marathon came out and a friend was doing a 24-hour stream, commentary about how I looked, which I know that I shouldn't take to heart, got to me. And I raised my voice at a friend.
He raised his voice at a friend. He talks about so much about how much he hates cheaters and Tarkov. Like, he calls this out. So he ends up making another post on Twitter because no one was satisfied with this, naturally. And so he goes on to here. He's like, screwed up big time. It's this crazy, huge message. He admits that he cheated. I cheated and betrayed the trust of countless people that believed in me, blah, 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 blah. Goes down here. People kept asking me why I did it. I think I did it for a false sense of self-validation to convince myself that I could win when clearly I shouldn't have. It was disrespectful to the entire online chess community. I was stupid enough to not even consider the consequences of what I was doing. And I accept those consequences now because I deserve it. I understand that people are going to question everything in my career now, and I don't blame them. I was the guy who vocally hated people who cheated in video games. Tarkov is riddled with it, and I did the most hypocritical thing I could do. Talked about mental health on stream yesterday morning because this stuff is very real for me. I'm restarting therapy this afternoon. Found someone through Sondermind, and that was available almost immediately, which is nice. Clearly, I have a problem with honesty to myself and those that care about me. It sucks that it took something like this to blow up in my face, but I'm hoping that it results in me finally fixing my problems with myself that I've had for years. Sorry to everyone, my friends and family, people that watch me, anyone I associate with. I betrayed your trust. Blah, blah, blah. So, you know, TLDR, a lot of people are kind of going back for like, bro, you're going to therapy over cheating in a chess tournament. Like, calm down, I ain't that deep, and other people not satisfied with everything. I think, in my opinion, this should be a big deal. Like, for him, not like you guys should care about it. It's just entertaining. It's fun to talk about. But like, this is his brand. Like, his reputation and integrity as a like competitive player, which is the games he does. He does like, you know, intense FPS games. The integrity and reputation that you have is a very big deal for your brand. Like, it really is. And so something like this happening and putting your entire, like, this is absolutely something that will put your entire career in jeopardy. And at the bare minimum, will put your reputation on the line. And you can't fix this. There will always be people that will make fun of and clown on you for this now. He can't get away with having this moral high ground talking about cheating in video games now, because every time he does, even if he's making a correct point, the fact that it's coming from him now is immediately going to diminish its utility, because there will be people in his chat going, can you really say that, Dr. Lupo? Or like Dr. Poopo. So yeah, I think it's fine. Good apology. Just because his chest doesn't mean that he shouldn't go to therapy. Right, he absolutely should go to therapy. There was also $100,000 in the line. He was in a prize money tournament. And the fact that he was willing to cheat in that, I think speaks more to, hey, this is clearly a mental problem, because that guy is loaded. He's a very successful streamer, like almost 5 million followers on Twitch. He has like 1.8 million subs on YouTube. The guy is a success completely. He did not need the money from this tournament, but he needed the pride for some reason, and it completely blew up in his face. Donate 200K to something. There you go. But that brings us to a close on that. I'm interested to see this. Are they debating right now? They aren't debating right now. Were they just debating today, Victig, the Hassan Ethan? That brings us to a close of this stream. What you missed this week. I hope you guys found this informative, found it fun. I'm gonna try to be doing one of these every week, because I just think that would be useful. They wrapped up not long ago. Okay. But let me know what you guys think. I'll try to convert this into a full video. I have a few things that I'll probably cut from this VOD, but that's it. And I think that pretty much covers it. I hope you guys got something out of this. I thought it was entertaining. And if you guys want to, come join the Discord. Let me throw a link down for it in the chat here. Sorry, I just kind of like repeated myself a couple of times here. And then feel free, I'll join in a short sec here. Here we go. Perfect. It's in the chat now. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk soon. See you guys on Monday at the very least. Maybe quicker if some crazy shit happens. All right, adios. See you guys. Bye.